Hey guys, today we'll be looking at how burial practices varied and compared across ancient Egypt to ancient Greece, and what does any of this mean? Firstly, in ancient Egypt, the burial practices were deeply rooted in the religious beliefs, particularly in the concept of an afterlife. Mummification was a central process, and tombs, such as pyramids, were designed to house the deceased body and the belongings for the journey to the afterlife. While the traditional pyramids have undergone different looks, their purpose has remained the same. Greek burial practices were influenced by their culture and their religion. They believed in the afterlife as well, and they paid great attention to the proper burial to ensure a journey for the underworld. Cremation and inhumation were both practiced, and graves often included offerings and grave goods. The funerary monuments that were constructed between ancient Egypt and ancient Greece were quite different. Egyptians built elaborate tombs and pyramids as lasting monuments for pharaohs and nobility. Hieroglyphs and paintings adorned the walls to provide a guide for the deceased in their afterlife. In ancient Greece, however, Greeks erected monuments like stelae and grave markers, which often featured inscriptions and sometimes sculpted reliefs. These monuments were meant to commemorate the deceased and provide a lasting memory. While the physicality of the monuments may differ, the purpose that they share is the same. One thing to note is that early Greece had a ton of tombs as well. Ancient Egypt's burial practices were strongly influenced by social status and wealth. Pharaohs, nobility, and officials received the most elaborate burials, including the construction of pyramids and rock-cut tombs, while the commoners had simpler graves. However, in Greece, social status influenced burial practices to an extent, but elaborate burials were not limited to the wealthy. As time progressed through ancient Egypt, their burial practices evolved as well. The most significant change was from a mastaba to the pyramids that we know today. And as time progressed even more, ancient Egypt found themselves using more rock-cut tombs as the standard Egyptian burial monument. Ancient Greece found itself going through changes as well. Throughout the Mycenaean period, it wasn't uncommon to find large group tombs. But as time progressed, cremation and inhumation were both persistent. When looking at ancient burial practices between Egypt and Greece, these are the key takeaways. The largest significance to their burial can be attributed to each culture's belief of the afterlife, or something beyond when one passes. Both Egypt and Greece share the idea of grave goods, such as everyday objects in Egypt or jewelry in the case of Greece. And both civilizations use the concept of a tomb, which eventually changed to more individualistic results when you look at Greece. And both the tomb and grave goods became less common as time went on in ancient Greece, showing more individuality from Greek culture after building on the discoveries and knowledge of civilizations in Egypt.